The National Museum of Singapore, a treasure trove of objects and memories. This March, the museum is hosting a special exhibition as part of our new series, Treasure Hunt. It will be called the People's Collection because it's all about you. Over the next 6 weeks, we are going to create a unique collection of artifacts that together tell the story of Singapore.
So it's going to be a real challenge for us to find enough artifacts.
And that's where you come in, because you, the people of Singapore, are the keepers of the nation's history, on shelves, in drawers, in boxes under the bed. In the last year, you responded to our call for treasures. This is like Paddington Bear's suitcase.
In fact, he's one of the pioneer taxi drivers in Singapore, actually.
You've brought your family heirlooms to our roadshow and sent us emails about objects in your homes that tell amazing stories. Primary school bag. In this 6-part series, we'll be hunting for treasures to fill up the People's Collection.
We'll visit institutions, archives, museums, antique shops in your homes just to find the right objects to tell the story.
And when we're done, they'll be assembled here at the National Museum as the People's Collection for all to view. Welcome to a unique television event.
Welcome to Treasure Hunt.
Treasure Hunt, where Chen and I really have our work cut out for us, don't we?
That's right.
Because we are going to dig deep, we're going to go far and wide to tell you guys the history of Singapore as told to us through people's stories, their objects, their ideas, things and incidents at the time. I kind of feel, though, that this particular episode is going to be pretty interesting.
Absolutely, because we are looking in the pre-war Singapore, and we have taken ourselves off the mainland of the island.
Look at us.
And here we are looking for someone who can tell us a little bit more about how early 20th century life is like.
Did you bring a picnic?
I did. We have sandwiches, beer.
From the earliest days, people flocked to Singapore from all over Asia to work and maybe make their fortunes. But before they even got there, they had to stop off at St. John's Island. Muhammad Shairi bin Yusti was born on St. John's Island over 80 years ago and still works here today. Pakcik,
Selamat pagi, Bapak.
Selamat pagi.
apa kabar?
Baik.
Pakcik, duduk.
Terima kasih.
So Pakcik, you lahirkan di sini?
Ya, saya lahir di sini tahun 1932.
So apa Pakcik kerja di sini?
Saya bekerja sebagai potong rumput. Bapak ingat dia kuarantin di sini lah. Ya, masa kat sini ada di rumah sana tu ada satu rumah yang besar lah. Di situ dia orang semua mana yang ada sakit-sakit semua kasih mandi di situ.
St. John's had become Singapore's quarantine station. An outbreak of cholera in 1873 had killed thousands. So from that time, quarantine was mandatory for every migrant to make sure no infections reached the mainland. A few pre-war buildings remain. Mostly, though, there's an atmosphere, underlined by recordings held at the National Archives from those who had been quarantined on St. John's on their way to a better life.
Well, then from Penang it has come to Singapore. Then we were taken to the quarantine. So we are all confined to the sheds. I think we were there about 7 or 9 days. 7 or 9 days.
来到新加坡海口的海港的时候呢，是在那个石约旦岛那边呐、住了2、3天，打预防针啊，消毒药水啊这样子的。那边有地方睡，有地方睡。 也有可以给吃，不是吃的很差的，不是很好。
The unfortunate few died before they could leave St. John's. For the others, this would have been their first view of Singapore itself. And within days, cleared through quarantine, they would be allowed ashore. So Chen, you're standing on the shores of Singapore, you've passed your medicals, and the whole point of it is to find a job.
That's right, and effectively as a coolie, that's what most people are back then. You only have a few options. You
Yep.
unskilled labor, you do construction,
Digging,
agriculture.
unloading boats. But the point of it, though, was to earn money and earn enough money to send it back home.
That's right, and there's a whole industry that sprang up around these things. Remittance companies, remittance firms were everywhere in Singapore.
Yeah, across the island.
Across the island, every little village had little one. And the amazing thing about them is that you're able to send money even to the most remotest of villages.
We've been invited by Alan Lee to visit his offices on the edge of Chinatown. He says he has some relics we might be interested in. Here we go. Hi, Mr. Lee.
How are you?
Anita, nice to meet you.
And thanks for having us.
We've just been Mr. Lee is the grandson of Lee Wee Nam, who set up a remittance company on these premises in the early 20th century. Having himself left China as a teenager, Lee Wee Nam was one of the migrants to Singapore who actually managed to make their fortune. He became prominent particularly in the Teochew community and went on to be a respected philanthropist. And one of his businesses was this remittance company. There are signboards from the old remittance company still on the wall. But there's more. I really want to take a closer look at this. So, how does this work? Was it originally here on this wall?
Yes, this is a post box. The boxes were for mails coming from China and mails going to China. When the mails coming to China, they would go into this box first, after which they'll be sorted out to the various boxes with surname. The ones at the top are the most common surnames, and the ones at the bottom are less common.
So, hang on a minute. So you guys are remitting money, but you're also sort of the early postal service for people.
I mean, it's part of the service that we provide.
In the street outside, there were scribes who helped the often illiterate workers write letters home. And these would be sent off with the money to the villages scattered beyond Shantou in Guangdong. You know what? I have to ask you if you would give us permission to take this with us, to put in our people's collection, together with the signs, all 4 pieces. We'd really love to put it in the people's collection, which will be at the National Museum. Would you let us have it?
Yes, of course.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. Do you feel like take it now? You could take it off the wall now. I think we might be in for quite a treat. As our hunt continues, we track down an unusual treasure from one of Singapore's most prominent philanthropists.